Okay, if you haven't been following along with the videos at this point, Bekah and I are making our way from Washington to Florida to get her to Disney World to start her internship. We made it to Yellowstone, and last night was our first night of camping, and some enjoyed it more than others.
How'd you sleep?
Not good. Are you gonna ask me a question, or you just want me to? I just want you to say, like, good morning.
Oh. It's a beautiful morning in Yellowstone National Park. I slept for 2 hours last night. When we fell asleep, I was sweating and it quickly got too cold, so I put this one other blanket on top of me. Just the one, let that be noted. And then about 3 in the morning, an animal started walking around our tent. It wasn't a bear, I'm pretty sure, but I guess I can't be sure. I've pretty much been awake since then, and it's freezing.
Camping.
Camping.
Everybody moving.
I slept great. How many blankets did you have?
I have 27 blankets.
I was freezing.
I should have checked what the temperature was while I was asleep.
You couldn't. We don't
Felt
have
like a
signal.
cool 7 degrees. I started off with one blanket, and then I got this blanket, and then I used the blanket that I was using as a pillow, as a real blanket, to cover my face, because I was hoping the heat from my breath would warm my body. And then Bekah woke up and saw me and put 2 more blankets on me, and then I was warm. But besides that, I felt great. It's very cold, and I forgot sweatpants, so good luck putting the tent away, I guess, Bekah, because I'll be in the car. So we're gonna try to put this stuff away, maybe find some warm coffee, because we only brought cold coffee, but we'll see what happens there. And then we're gonna go check out the basin. The thing that we drove by, I think, is the little pool of hot water.
Oh,
Maybe we could jump in that.
no.
Okay, Rich from the future here. When we went to Yellowstone, we had no idea what we were doing, so let me pass on what I've learned. When you're in the park, you have no service. At least if you have AT&T like me and Bekah, we couldn't even make a phone call. So really plan ahead before you get into the park. But if you did get lost, the people at the gift shops and literally everywhere else in the park are extremely helpful. The lady at the gas station let me use their phone so I could call the campsite because we were completely lost and couldn't find it, which is really sad because it was right here. This is where we came into the park from the west entrance, and so right here is where our campsite was. So instead of going there, we went all the way over here, which is really sad. This is the map that they give you when you walk into the park, and all the highlighted areas on here are probably places that you want to check out. So the first day we came into the park from the west side, and we drove down to Old Faithful to watch, Old Faithful go off. And then we drove over here because we got lost and we couldn't find our campsite, but then eventually we made our way back up here, and this is where our campsite was, so this is where we spent the night. Then the next morning we woke up and we were gonna go down to the Old Faithful visitor center to ask for directions on how to get out of the park since, again, we had no service, we didn't know what we were doing. So we went from here, drove down to right here, the fountain paint pots. You'll hear us say in the video that we're not at the fountain paint pots, but we are at the fountain paint pots. We had no clue. Then after that, we drove a little bit further and we go down to the Grand Prismatic Spring to walk around that little loop. And then eventually, you don't see it, but we go down to Old Faithful again and ask for help and directions. And we end up deciding to go out the north entrance of the park. So following this road all the way up past everything, going out the north entrance. We decided to go north because we had already driven east yesterday when we were looking for our campsite, and we thought we would get service faster if we went out the north exit. Okay, so from here at the very helpful gift shop with the very helpful people, we drove north. And we didn't really stop, but we did drive past all this really cool stuff. Gibbon Falls was so cool from the car. I didn't even get a video because we drove past it so quickly, but it was really beautiful. And then we drove past all of this stuff, a beautiful mountain that you'll see in the video, and then up past Mammoth Hot Springs, which again, I didn't get a video of because we didn't stop at all. And then we drove out through the Roosevelt Arch, which is where we saw the elks and stuff, and then out up this way to a town. Through a town called Gardner. I desperately wish that we had more time in the park because there was a lot of beautiful things that we just drove past or didn't even get to see, but it was cool to at least drive past it. If you do go to Yellowstone, please plan better than me and Bekah did. And if you want some help or advice, I can't really tell you what to do, but I could probably give you some advice on what not to do, so feel free to message me. Also, Bekah and I didn't really realize that, we kind of knew this, but it really set in when we were there that Yellowstone is just a giant volcano park, basically. This whole purple area, like rim where it says, I don't know how to say this word, the boundary, this purple area is the rim of a gigantic volcano. So all the hot springs and paint pots and pools that you see are powered by the heat from this volcano. Like we kind of knew, but not really. And I just feel like it's the coolest thing ever. Okay, back to the video. Okay, before we hit the road today, we're going to check out I don't even know what this is called.
I have no idea. Boardwalk of geysers.
The Boardwalk of Geysers.
Fountain paint pots. Oh no, those
That's
are
not it. That's not it. There's just a boardwalk with a bunch of geysers on it.
So if we go, it's really a bunch of geysers with a boardwalk on it.
Who made this? Learn me.
It makes clay, so you could theoretically use that to make mud pots yourself if it wasn't too hot to touch. And it's heated by the Yellowstone volcano. This is red spouter, created by an earthquake that happened in 1959. So it's not really that old, but still old. It's currently early summer, so the pool is drier than it is in the spring when it's soaked. And so when it's in the spring, it will actually spit up water. And then in the fall, it's dry, so it's just a steam bath. The rock is warm because of the sun. I'm feeling it. It's 160 degrees apparently, so I don't see why I couldn't feel that.
I guess up here is Grand Primus Pool. I think that's what it's called. Seems like it's gonna be cool because there's about a bajillion people here.
Oh, hi, I'm tour guide Barbie.
This is fire. Wait, no, it's not. This is Excelsior. This is Excelsior Geyser, and it pumps 4,000 gallons of boiling water into Firehole River every minute. What you think?
I wish we could see it. But basically, it was just saying the same thing as the other one, that they study this area a lot to figure out how life forms exist, because there are things living in here and they shouldn't be able to.
How are you doing that?
How are you doing that? Call them extremophiles.
That's a cool name.
This whole area is called the Prismatic Spring, right? It's called the Prismatic Spring, and prismatic means, what does it mean? Brilliantly colored. And the spring is 160 degrees Fahrenheit, so no touchy. On the other side of the pool there is layers of microorganism forests. They kind of just build up over time from more of the extremophiles.
Whoa, is this the same mountain we were just looking at? It looks way bigger from this side. What the heck? This is insane. Oh, I love this terrain. Wow, wow. I'm so pleased. This is stunning. Look. Are those girl elks? Yeah, I think so. Hi guys.
Are they deer?
What a good question. Okay, we made it out of the park to Gardner. Now we're trying to find a place where we can charge our phones, but the parking here is a little rough.
Limited.
He's here. You look like you're sunburnt. What happened to you?
Oh, we've been in the sun. The camping spot's a bit different this time. It's in a grass field. But nonetheless, we have a beautiful view.
Oh, wow, look at that. Okay, after a lot of driving, we've made it to Buffalo Ridge Campsite. There's a lot different vibes here than at Yellowstone, but I'm for it because this grass seems a lot softer than the hard ground that we were at in Yellowstone. I'm pleased. I'm chuffed. It's gonna be good. I can feel it. Except I'm already cold. So. You got it, kid. You're doing great.
Good. I'm not even upset. I've been excited to eat it every time.
Oh, good. Becca's enjoying her road trip food. What do we got? Gourmet dinner.
It's a chicken wrap. Jackson could get a good view of this place. And he was like, what do you mean, sweetie? And she's like, you know how he can do that thing where he leans forward? Not everybody can do that.
Okay.
It also just looks fibrous, doesn't it?
I guess.